Hello and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk with me, Vineet, on Loofre's Facebook exclusive platform. As you know, this is a hobby show where we talk to different collectors, individuals, and people who do something else with their life rather than just going to work, coming back, and doing the normal 9 to 5 routine. And today we've got a very special rustic individual for you. I mean, he goes by the name Rusty Cashew. He's pretty popular on Instagram. And again, he likes cars. He likes cars that are small, and he also likes cars that are big. But to hear more about him, let's get him onto the stream. Rusty, are you there?
Hey Vineet, what's up?
And there you are. And there you see, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our dear friend, the Rusty Cashew, as he's like to be known. But, dude, you look like a hermit. But before we even get on to that particular thing,
Hmm.
tell us what your real name is.
So my name's Deep. I'm from Goa, and the Rusty Cashew is kind of a name for my blog and stuff like that. So yeah,
So, everybody calls you Rusty, or does anybody call you Deep even?
yeah, man. I think the people who know me personally they call me Deep, but the rest who don't, they call me the Rusty Cashew.
Wow. So, mean your alter ego has become your real persona, and that is the name that you live by. And I think that is the face and the projection that you try to do. So, is this the effect of lockdown, the beard, or are you normally
It is.
like
It is.
this?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. It is. Yeah.
So, you normally like to take it easy, or right now you're taking it easy? What's the deal?
I I am. I am. I'm trying to be a little safe at the time, and I'm taking up a few things, a few projects of my own. So I haven't left home much, and I'll be showing you a bit about those too.
Fabulous. So, tell me something. You're into cars, yes?
Yeah.
And tell us how it all started, your infatuation with cars, and how you've taken your hobby and you've actually managed to turn it into your profession. Yeah, that's what it is
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
now. You're totally involved with cars, and everything that you do is just cars.
Yeah. Yeah. It's car related. It's fabrication related. So I've got some of the things that started me off. I got involved with Hot Wheels and
Oh
also
wait,
Legos
I've got a
really early.
picture of you. Yeah. Let me just
Yeah.
pull that picture up and all, and let's just everybody see what a cute boy you were.
Well, yes. That's good.
Uh, and there we go. Is
Yeah.
that you?
Yeah. Yeah. That is somewhere around 5 years old.
And where is it? This is here in Goa itself.
No, this is in Canada. So that was my fifth birthday, and somebody gifted me a 5 pack of Hot Wheels. So that
Ah,
is, I think that is what is that set called? The race
yeah, that's
team.
the race team. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's something I've been looking out for, and thanks to the Hot Wheels group, I've been able to find one. But I'm trying to convince the guy to get it for me. So yeah,
Fabulous. So this is 5 years old, and you were in Canada, and somebody gifted you this particular set, and that is what started it off, and that's what kicked off this whole thing for you and defined your life basically.
yeah, yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Fabulous.
So
Do you still have these cars from your old, or you played with them and they'd gone away, and yeah, well, now you're trying to get one back, yeah?
yeah, for this is one of the sets I'm missing. I might have had maybe about 40, and this this particular set is missing. I only have the dragster now.
Acha.
It is quite badly damaged, so I'm trying to get this with the box and just keep it as it is. It's a nice remembrance.
Of course
I'd
it is.
like to find that.
Yeah, all these
Yeah.
little toys that influenced us during our childhood and actually made us who we are a huge part of that defines us today. And that's what I keep telling everyone I meet also, that these are not just toys; they are career
Mm.
shaping tools. And again, we have you as a fine individual and an example who was so influenced by Hot Wheels that. Yeah, well, it's become your career now. So anyway, let's talk about yeah.
I could show you some of
First,
the old Hot Wheels. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
One
yeah,
sec,
yeah.
I'll
You
just
you you still
switch.
collect,
Yeah.
is it? Yeah.
I still do, yeah. I found quite a few on the group, and I found a few. For example, this is one that I've lost, and I was able
Ooh,
to find it through the Hot Wheels
nice.
collector group.
Hey, that's a
And
snowplow.
yeah, yeah, that's a snowplower. Um, I think it's based on a Chevy truck, something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yeah.
So one sec.
Sweet. These old
And
cars are relatively hard to find.
yeah, yeah. Without the groups, it would be close to impossible. Otherwise, you only have eBay. So this is one that I was gifted once by my dad, and I think I had another one with it. I forgot what it was called. So I'm still trying to track down all of those.
Nice.
And as you can see, this is what wears out. All the movable parts break off. I think this was a
Uh-huh.
dump truck.
Right.
It wasn't a cement mixer. Yeah,
That's a black walls, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. So I think some of
Sweet.
these, if I remember correctly, they came through when I used to visit. What do you call them? Swap meets. They're called
Uh-huh.
something else, right? So
No,
even this
swap
one is
meets.
a black wall.
Oh.
Flea markets. Sorry, yeah, flea markets. So this is far older than me. So I'm pretty sure that I got this from a
Yeah,
uh,
man, that's a sweet
flea
looking
market.
machine. Yeah, 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 yeah. These black walls are very, very hard to find. They were made between 1988 to 1998. How old are you again?
I'm 27 now, so this has been quite
So
some time.
that means, yeah, so that's like 1993.
Yeah, 92. Yeah,
92. Okay, cool. Yeah,
yeah.
2020 is not yet over.
Not yet.
I hope it
Yeah,
goes away soon, just like with the corona. But yeah,
yeah.
hey, that's a nice one. What is that? The GT Racer?
Um, I I think I figured out what it was because there are two models that are very similar, right? This is
Right,
supposed to have a wing or something like that, which is
right,
missing.
right.
Um,
Well
I'll have to
played, my
check that.
friend. Well played.
Yeah. Is it supposed to have a wing?
I think the GT Racer does have a wing. Yes, it does. There were two of them, the Solaire and the GT Racer, which are very, very similar. The Solaire has an opening back. The GT Racer doesn't. That's where the confusion is. Ooh, that's a nice one. The Silver
Yeah.
Bullet, and this one was actually came in three different names. Yeah, the Silver Bullet was one of them. I used to have that. In fact, I think that particular one in silver was
This one.
one of my first. Yeah, one of my first. Hot Wheels that I picked up. I think it was in 1978 or something like that. But this one is called something
This is a
else. I think.
74.
Yeah, that's the tooling and all. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
fabulous.
yeah. Sorry, sorry. So yeah,
Oh,
these
the
are
Gulf
some of my
Stepper.
childhood ones.
Nice, 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 nice. Oh,
Oh
I see a
yes.
second wind over there. Is that a Mark V second wind over there?
I'm.
Whoa, that's a speed racer car, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Fabulous. So the whole story behind this is that Mattel didn't have the license for this, so they could never call it the Mark V, but it is based on the Mark V. The solar car.
Yes, yes. This should
Wow.
be about a 2000 or 1999, right?
Yeah, somewhere around that time it came out.
And I think that's it from the ones that I have over here that are older. Apart from that, I collect a lot of Porsches and yeah, BMWs. There's somewhere here.
So you're
Oh yeah,
handling
here's
German
another old one.
machines, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Ooh,
of course. So this is
nice.
um I forgot what this is called. It's supposed to have a windshield as well, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to have a windshield and all of those things in the back. I think speakers or something like that. That's the ultimate boom machine, man. How many
Yeah, yeah,
subwoofers in there? How many amps and everything? I mean, as kids, we really wouldn't
yeah,
know anything about the amps and the subwoofers and anything like that. But yeah, these castings really educated us.
yeah, yeah. So I'm still searching for a few more that I've lost, and I'm trying to find them through the group. I think you've helped me out with two of them, and I'm short of another maybe 5 to 10. And
Nice.
I've got a few
We'll
box.
get them, man. The fun is in
Yeah.
the chase, and that's what it's about. And it's glad, it's really heartwarming that you still have your older cars, and that is what I think keeps you connected, or keeps us connected to our childhood and all our memories. And the minute we pick one of these up, ooh, wait a minute, what is that?
Here's your little friend.
Oh, yes. That's the rat fink. Dude,
Yeah.
amazing. Ed Roth's creation.
Yeah.
Like that's like what? A 3D printed model? What is that?
Yeah. Yeah. So I've got a 3D printer here too. Something
Oh,
I've got running at the moment.
fabulous.
So,
Do
yeah.
you print your own die-cast cars? Do you print your own stuff? Or what are you doing right now, man?
I'm actually making some keychains, but I was trying to make scale models at one point. But back then my
Ah,
machine was a little rougher. I figured out
oh,
things better, and
okay.
yeah, I'm trying it out. Let's see if we can make something.
So you collect Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
You're a grown man, and you've turned this
Hey,
into your
don't judge. Don't
profession.
judge.
Not judging. I'm just
Um,
laying it down like it is. There's nothing wrong with collecting Hot Wheels. In fact, I am the biggest advocate for all of us to collect Hot Wheels. Those who don't
of
also,
course.
and those who have them hidden inside their closets and all. I encourage them to get them out and play with them at the end of the day. These, like I said, these are our connections to our childhood, man, our lost childhood, and these are memory triggers. They really
Yeah,
get
of
us
course it is.
back to where we are. So no, not judging at all. I'm on your side, dude.
Yeah, I'm pulling your leg. Don't worry about that.
So what's in that big
So,
tote you've got over there?
so these are my old Legos. One sec. I'll shift to the front cam
Hmm.
or back cam. And yeah, these are the Legos I used to play with. I've got a ton of them. So this
Oh
is
my God.
these are termed as Technic. Are you into Legos?
Yeah, I used to have a couple of them as a kid myself, and all the very first Technic sets that came out without the Mindstorms motors and the microprocessors and things like that. Yeah, these are really cool,
These were the
man.
early ones. Yeah, these were
Yeah,
the
yeah,
early
yeah.
ones. So I did have the Mindstorm too. I think I have the Mindstorm is what started me with stuff like robotics. So
Oh,
yeah,
you're
this
into
is an
robotics
I.
as well.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
yeah. In college, we used to build combat robots.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
wow.
I should send you some videos of that. So this is an IR sensor. This is back from the early days. I think the early um, 2000s, and
Yeah, yeah.
you would have to transmit your program using that onto
Right.
your. One sec. Let me try to show you where it is.
My God, that's a whole bunch of Legos, dude. That's like hugely collectible stuff you've got there, dude.
Yeah, yeah. This is the early Mindstorm. This is
Yeah.
RCX 1.0. I had 2.0. I have 1.5, and I also have the early gen. I think they call NXTs. They're gray in color. So that's
Yeah,
what they're
yeah, yeah.
selling now. And this
Right.
is one of those soccer sets for football.
Sweet.
So yeah, I've got a lot of Legos, and I've got these two. This is the what do you call it? The Bugatti, and I've got the Porsche as well. I'll show you that a bit later.
Oh my God. So you're really into your toys. Fabulous.
Yeah, yeah,
This is great. Keep playing, man. Keep playing. Keep
yeah.
inspiring people like us. And that stuff is worth a fortune, man. And highly collectible. Very very hard to find. And
The problem was
fantastic.
back then. I guess it was. I mean, I wasn't paying for it, so it was okay. But now that I look at the prices, it's crazy. So yeah, this is
For
one of those
sure.
motors. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I gotta sort these out and put them in a way that I could use them. So I'm thinking of doing that. And this is the room for that. So I'm building this room up.
Nice.
Yeah. And
Oh, this.
here is
What is that?
this is the Bugatti, the Chiron. So you've got this little function in the
Wow.
back. You've got
Nice.
opening doors, stuff like that, and it's even got a gear shifter and a working steering wheel, which is a bit
Wow.
stuck at the moment.
Ah, it moves.
Yeah,
It moves. It's a little rusty.
yeah, yeah, it is.
Rusty
And
Cashews, Rusty Bugatti, right? Right. What is that thing that you've got in the center over there?
So this is my Hot Wheels display I'm coming up with. It's made out of aluminum sheets. So I've riveted these together.
Oh,
And this is an acrylic back. So this is something that a friend and me are making, and we use it with different backings, with different frames, and we've tried a few combinations. Wood, you also get those aluminum, what do you call them? Extrusions,
for
and
sure.
yeah, we've been making some of those too. So I've got these tracks
Ex-
as well, the
oh,
Hot Wheels tracks. We've got a
yeah.
few of these, and I'm thinking of making a wall-mounted track somewhere here, something a little different.
So this is going to
Yeah,
be a man cave. You built your own display. You're a fabricator. You do 3D printing. You collect Hot Wheels. You've got
yeah, yeah,
Legos. And you've got a crazy selection of hubcaps and radiators. Dude,
yeah, yeah.
where do you get all this stuff?
So this came in through a friend, and I helped them sell a few parts.
Right.
So four of these hubcaps belong to my own car when I shifted to alloys,
Oh,
and the rest have come in through trading. So I traded some parts and got them. So yeah,
amazing.
and this is some pending stuff that I have to still build.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it's work in progress.
So you've still managed to, retain your childhood even now, and that's phenomenal, man. You still play with your toys and you're building stuff for them. Do you build this for other collectors and stuff, the display cases and all of these things?
Yeah, I have. I have built some stuff for a few friends in Goa, and they do
Right,
collect. I'll
right,
share some pictures in the group.
right.
So we have a small circle of guys, and we help each other out sourcing, and it helps us with shipping as well. So let's say we're getting a shipment from Harsh. That's Cars and Dolls, right?
Right.
Yeah. So we group up together and we try to pick it up. But sometimes the thing is we're into classic cars as well, and if we want a certain car, it sometimes seems like we're hoarding them. So that becomes the problem. So let's say I want five VW vans, then that becomes a
Right.
little weird. Yeah, so that's the only problem.
Don't worry, I'll put in a word with Harsh for you and say this guy is not a hoarder. This guy is the Rusty
Yeah,
Cashew. So anyway, so coming back to the present, so this was a little bit about your past and something that you've carried on into your youth. You're still a
yeah.
young man, and so
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about your profession. What is it that you do now? Are you the car business? Are you into trading cars? Are you into what do you
Not
do?
really, no, no. So I rebuild for a few friends. I do a few modifications. So there are
Okay.
bolt-on modifications for cars. That's something
Okay.
I've started doing, and
Right.
it's something that I've recently started. So I'll show
Right.
you guys the workshop now.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I'm also into fabrication. I think that's something I'd like to concentrate on more.
Right.
Stuff like this case that I showed you, and
Right.
things that I'm building in this room. That's pretty much what I want to get into. Um, so yeah, I'll show you guys the cars now. Cool.
Let's see the cars, dude. Take us outside.
Okay. One sec. Oops. Wrong button.
Wrong button.
Okay. Here we go. So these
Ah.
are the cars.
Oh my God. You've got a bunch of them. When I with
Yeah.
that's the S10. That's E30 BMW. Mercedes. The wagon that you were telling us about. That's a
Yeah.
W124.
This is a 124. So this is the one
Right.
that comes after the 123.
Right.
And these are all my personal cars. These are my own.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, so this one has started off as a 500-piece model that was made for in the name of Sachin. And
Right.
they put on signatures in different positions. They put on a body kit, and they put a
This is
sporty
Sachin
engine.
Tendulkar, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
The
So they
Sachin
put in a,
Tendulkar, yeah.
and this car was the one they gifted to him. So it's
I,
got
s-
this, yeah, it's got a serial number which is 010, which is his number, right? And that's why it's called the S10. So,
right.
so yeah, this is the one they gifted to him. It's got A few things are a bit different, and I'm thinking of doing a few mods on it. That's
Oh,
the idea.
sweet.
Yeah,
At that
and
point in time, I think he was the brand ambassador, or they signed him on as a brand ambassador. They even gave him a Ferrari 360 Modena in red, which he later sold.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, this was it for putting his signature on the car. Sign my Fiat, and I'll give you a Ferrari. How cool is that, man? I wish I was somebody as
Yeah.
famous. So, what are you planning to do with this thing? I mean, if I remember correctly, this one had a it came with a 1.6 liter 100 bhp
Twin
engine,
cam.
16 valve.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. They're quite quick. They're fun cars to drive. They are a bit problematic in places. I mean, all older cars are. They have their own kinks. But this one, I'm planning on turbocharging, changing a
Oh,
few things, maybe changing the wheels. And yeah, I've made my own parts for it. Like I've made this carbon fiber fender over here.
wow. How
Yeah.
did you make a
So,
carbon fiber fender? Where did you get the carbon fiber from? And wow, wow, you're nuts.
so,
Okay. Yeah.
so it kind of started off with the 356, which I'll show you later. But
Right.
yeah, I've been experimenting with fiberglass and carbon fiber. And yeah, that's what I'm doing over here. I'm trying to replicate this bumper. It's from an AMG. This car
Right.
came with a few AMG parts, so I'm thinking of
Right.
replicating them. And
Okay.
yeah, I'm working on that right now. That's This is one of these projects. I'm thinking of doing DIY videos with this car. Um, but I
Fabulous.
Yeah, so yeah, and yeah, I'm working on it now. Here's what a mold for something looks like. Okay, and
And
here
you
is what the part looks like.
so you fabricate the mold first yourself, and then you get these parts. And this is what, fiberglass? How do you make this stuff?
Yeah, yeah. So what you do is basically you start off with the real piece.
Right.
You create the fiberglass mold, which is this,
R- right.
and you make a copy out of that. It sounds simpler than it is, but yeah, that's it.
I'm sure it isn't as simple as you're making it out to be. You
Yeah.
obviously are a very, very talented man, from Hot Wheels onto fixing up and creating your real cars. Yeah, Hot Wheels, Lego, and now real cars. Man, you've really taken it to the next level. You go and buy these cars from where? Is it easy to buy these cars? These are old cars. You must be paying a lot of
It's
money for them.
not really. Sometimes I get a good deal. So this is the first car we picked up. It's called a W123. Actually, it's called an S123 because it's a
Okay.
wagon.
Right.
And yeah, I was able to pick up one of these.
Nice.
So I have done a custom on this, where it's almost I tried to replicate it as far as possible. The exterior color, interior color, as well as the alloys, something that's close. You know
Wow.
those wheels that came on the Ferrari, right? Some of the Ferraris, those five spokes. So
Yep.
managed to match it somewhat with those. And yeah, I couldn't find that casting right now, but I'll show you later. And
Fabulous.
and yeah, they are a bit harder to find these days. What happened is recently, with the amount people are using the internet, it has become a bit difficult
Mm-hmm.
to get one for a reasonable price, but they are available. Maybe they're more readily available, but there are also some cars that have potential and nobody figures it out, and till it's too late. For example, the Fiat that we were looking at over here,
Right.
and yeah, it has potential. You might be able to get them for really cheap. Like as I've seen them going as low as 40,000. So it's
Wow.
quite a steal for a fun car, right?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And the thing about these European cars is that no matter how old they get, they still don't
Mm.
look as old. They've aged quite
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if you take that Fiat and put it next to any new, Hyundai or any other car that is there, it's
Hmm.
just got a timeless design that is there, and it still makes it look as fresh. And especially in that banana yellow S10 edition, it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's an eye catcher for sure. And especially you're in Goa, and that's the place to have fun
Yeah.
with these beautiful cars that you have. And so, how did you get into, or how did you learn about, building cars? Did you go to college, or did you do something, or is it all self learned?
So I've done my mechanical engineering, but I learned a lot more trying things on my own.
Okay.
We used to build a lot of stuff in college, like sorry, with the light, like robots. We used to build go-karts, and we've done a few national competitions with those when we were in college,
Oh,
and it was a lot of fun. We learned a lot about building stuff, and that's where it started.
fabulous. So that's how you got your hands dirty into whatever you learned in
Yeah,
college,
yeah,
and you took the theoretical knowledge and translated it into practical knowledge. And here you are with this huge garage of yours and all these
yeah.
beautiful cars. So, what's your connection with the German cars? I say, or let's just say European cars. You've got an Italian, you've got a couple of Germans, and you mentioned you like Porsches.
Yeah, they're built a little better, so I prefer them. Um, they have they have a better build quality. They're easier to work on in some cases. But as you go towards the 2000s, they get a little tighter, with, let's say, the engine bay, and then it becomes difficult. But the 80s cars are really easy to work on.
And
They're
is it
well
easier
thought
to
out.
find? Yeah, is it easier to find parts for them now when you're trying to fix them up and stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah, it's still possible. It's quite possible to find them now. You just have to know the right guys, and I try to share that with everyone. Trying to share where you can find parts and how you can get them. You get used parts, you get new parts, you get everything over here. It's not like it's impossible, but you might have to wait a little longer than a normal car if it's
For
not
sure.
available. Yeah,
Wow. And so these are your personal projects that you're doing for yourself.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
there anything else also, like your customers or other people, or like you said, you do some stuff for your friends and things?
Yeah, I do. I've got a car over there, but I think we'll lose range over there. So one
Okay.
sec, I'll just shift cameras. So yeah, it's a Fintail Mercedes. I'm working on that right now.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and yeah, so I've got a little plan for each one of these cars. This one over here, I'm planning on swapping the engine and putting in a six-cylinder. I think you had something similar to that, right?
Yep, we had something similar to that at one point in time. It was a project car for us also. The way we did it, we swapped out. It was a 316i. We took out the four cylinder and we swapped six cylinder from a 320i, which we were fortunate because a Spanish diplomat had left it behind and he'd left the country, and it was with a friend of mine just lying over there. So yeah, that was an
Hmm.
interesting project and turned out to be quite a beast.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm kind of doing the same thing almost.
Oh,
Also a 320i, and mine's coming with a manual transmission. So that's something I'm trying out.
sweet. That thing's
Good.
gonna turn out to be a beast, and I'll make sure you upgrade the brakes and everything else also that goes with that car. Because I believe the engine bay and everything for this particular car is exactly the same as for the bigger the 320i. There's not much difference there except for the inline six and the size of the engine. That thing's huge. I mean, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So I think the difference in the cars is basically they have different brakes in the front. They have disc brakes in the back as well, the six cylinders.
Yes.
Um, they have a different suspension in the front because of the added weight,
Yep.
and not much else. But then you go up in spec, you get different parts. So yeah.
That's going to be a beast of a project. I mean, you know, you reminded me of the time that when we did this, and I was fabulous, man.
Mm,
I can't wait, and you know, I wish this Corona would get over really, really soon, so I could
mm.
maybe, you know, take some time out and come down and help you with this kind of stuff. That would
Sure,
be
sure.
phenomenal. No, so tell me more about the other stuff that you're building, man. Anything special? You mentioned Porsche. So where is your Porsche? Are you buying one? Are you getting one? You've got you mentioned BMW. You mentioned Mercedes, and what
Yep,
is
there it is.
that?
So this is something I built out of 3D models. I thought I would try it out. It's one sec. Do you have the pictures I shared with you?
Yes, hang on. Just let me pull out those pictures that we have over here.
So
Meanwhile, you
this
can
is what it
keep
should
talking.
look out.
I'm going to remove myself from the stream. So why don't you just, while I dig out those pictures and all, so the screen is all yours. Tell us about it. If you
Sure,
don't hear
sure.
from me, don't worry. Yeah.
So this started off as 3D models, which I converted into thermocol. I sliced it every inch. And in some places, I increased that thickness to reduce the amount of error. And then I formed that into a fiberglass shell, which I then used a mold, and I made this. So I had this Honda with me. So this has got a Honda engine. It's not a VTEC, but it's an automatic, and it's a 1.5 liter. So I've got that, and yeah, Vineet, where are you?
I'm just pulling out your
There
pictures
you
and
are.
all. You keep yeah. You keep talking and all. I'm pulling out your pictures. Go on, don't worry. Move that stuff, man. We want to see that beautiful machine that you've built.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult. I thought that would be possible, but yeah, I've got to move a lot of stuff around. So I was able to use some locally made parts and some local finds. Okay. Oh yes. So that is the 3D sketch I started with. And I scaled it using, what do you call them? Dimensional pictures. So I had dimensional pictures and I used those to scale the car. Could I see the next picture? Hello? Ah, yes. So this is where I section the car every 1 inch in the front because that has more detail. So over here, I cut it every 1 inch, and I made these 2D cutouts, which I then got laser cut. Actually, it's a hot wire which cuts the thermocol. And as you can see, as it goes to the center, the thickness of these sections becomes larger. So that's to reduce the amount of error because there would be some cutting error with the thickness of these sections. So I wanted to reduce the number of layers. Could we go to the next picture? Yes, so that is where I used a lot of plaster of Paris and a lot of, what do you call it, wall putty. And I built up the car from there and smoothened out the form. I painted it later, and then I was able to see where the defects were. So as you can see, it's just, there's loads of dust on the ground. Yeah. Yeah, that's after painting it. Okay, and that's where the first shell came out. So I have a mold that was made for this. So the same process that I was talking about with these parts over here from the Mercedes. You make a mold and then you make a shell and make a piece out of that. So that is where I made a shell. And then I later cut out the doors. I made wider wheel arches. I cut out the headlights. Yep, that's how it was. And that is a Honda engine out of a Type 2 City. So it's a 1.5. It's not the VTEC, but it's still a peppy engine. It was out of a car that a friend had, and we thought we'd make something interesting with it. So that's what it is. And the whole frame is made out of tubes. So this has got this other feature where the front end and the rear end just pop up, like an old, what do you call them, a GT40. Okay. Yep, that's with the front end off. And that's how the front end flips up. So that's pretty much the current state, apart from the, I added a few indicators and stuff like that. Could I see the next picture? Yep. So that's where I added those. And now I just need to fix a few things in the car, start it up, and get things running. So I've just taken off the headlights and whatever could break till I do that. And that's my dog. Oh yeah, and that's a set of wheels that I found in Chor Bazaar. So that's them over here as well. They happen to be Watanabes, which are Japanese racing wheels. And these guys didn't know what they were. What I did was I completely refurbished them. They're called split rims because, yeah, over there, you can see that they come apart. You can change the width, you can change the offset of these wheels using a simple not very simple, but you can change them and get exactly what you want out of it. So I completely stripped them down, powder coated them, and reassembled them. Okay.
And absolutely insane. I mean, wow. How did you? Oops. There we go. Lost you there. And you're back. Let me just get you on full screen now. Fantastic. How did you manage to find those crazy looking wheels at Shore Bazaar in Goa and nobody knew what they were?
In Bombay.
In
Actually, I
Bombay.
found them over there. Yeah, I do. I used to do a trip every year. I guess
Right.
this year's trip is not really happening, but yeah, I used to do that every year. Hunt for parts, meet people, different classic car collectors, and that's how you find more parts, find more cars. You're able to do it that way by meeting people, and you can help each other out. It's a small community, so you're able to, you know, find different things through that.
Fabulous. So, how
Yeah.
long have you been working on this Porsche, man?
It's probably been about 4 years. So I started it
Wow.
when I was in college. I started with the 3D models. I've actually
Right.
ripped those models off of a game called Forza Horizon. So
Oh,
what they've done, yeah, yeah. So these games, they laser, what do you call it? They basically laser scan the car and then import
okay.
it. They laser
Hmm.
scan the tracks, and you're
Mm-hmm.
able to get that data using some websites. Basically, these guys take that data from the game and they extract
Right.
it, and you have a 3D
Oh,
model of the car. Yeah,
so you got the 3D model of the car in college. It started out as a passion project back then, and then you've got it to this particular stage. This is awesome,
yeah,
man. This
yeah.
is this is
Thanks.
phenomenal. If you can't buy a Porsche, learn from the Rusty Cashew how to build your own. Wow. Uh, but it, so what are you planning to do? So once you perfected the art of getting your stuff there, I can understand. This is going to be your first. Are you looking at maybe creating more replicas of these?
Maybe it's a bit difficult because uh, a lot of people are not really interested in them.
Huh?
They are interested. I would say they are interested, but there is a lot of time. There are a lot of things that you have to see when you get into driving one of these, and it's not an everyday car. You can only use it on the weekends, stuff like that. So it's quite complicated, and I've not been able to find people who are, really keen on it. They are excited, but it's hard to find somebody who's going to say, "Oh, cool, I want one made," right? So, yeah,
For sure. I mean, yeah, like you said,
yeah,
it is difficult to get all the legalities in place and all to be able to
yeah,
drive
yeah,
something like this. I don't think our laws in this particular country, we're not California. I mean, we're not the US. So
yeah,
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 it's not possible to just build your own car in your own garage. I think you have to go through all those stupid safety regulations and stuff like
yeah,
that, which just is a big killjoy. If the
yeah,
people in the US can do it and they're more advanced than us, so why not us? I mean, it's something that go figure. I just can't get that. I will never be able to subscribe to that thing. That's one of the reasons I want to move to California. Join me. Uh, we can go there.
yeah.
And yeah, but you're lucky that you're able to do all this stuff and build this
Hmm.
car for yourself over here. But what about wall art? I'm sure that a lot of people would be interested in just taking this thing. People with a lot of money, people with even a reasonable amount of money, taking the whole shell of this car and finishing it off
I think
nicely and
there,
putting it on the wall.
yeah, yeah, there are some restaurants. I think there's one in Bombay where they have a car hanging from the wall or
Right,
from the roof, right? They've got a Beetle or something like that. I'm not sure if
right.
you've seen it, but it's quite cool. And that might be one of the options with this once it's done. So I'll have to really explore it once it's finished. So I thought I'd finish with these cars in a certain order. I recently picked up the Mercedes, the
Right,
124. I
right.
thought I'd do a weekly DIY video, and that'll give people confidence to work on their own cars. They might not have a lot to do during this lockdown. Some people are stuck at home, right? And
Yep.
it's fairly easy to work on your own car. You just need a set of tools. Um, I mean, if you've got a car, it shouldn't be too difficult to pick up some tools. And uh, you know, start something like this. Just try. Maybe I'll do an oil change. Maybe I'll just change the wipers. Really simple stuff, because we have to be more independent, right? A little bit of that learning helps you in everything. You face less problems throughout. You see some problem, you'll be like, okay, I don't need to call an electrician. For example, as you can see, the wiring in this whole room was done by me, and it's my first attempt. I thought I'd say, okay, I'll try to make everything, and that means even the wiring. So I've gone in,
Wow.
and it is external because that's the look I wanted to go for. So I
For
painted
sure.
up these, uh, what do you say, these casings, and I've even 3D printed these lampshades. I thought I'd go in and try to make everything myself. And here
Wow.
is the light switch. I've made the light switches. So they have a little problem, but otherwise they're supposed to have their own light, each one of them. So I
Oh,
need to do a rebuild, and yeah, that's how they work.
that's like these
So
old toggle switches that you've just done, and you've totally gone retro, man. That is
yeah,
phenomenal.
it's steampunk. Yeah,
Eh, Fantastic, fantastic. You're a big DIY guy yourself, man. I mean,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is this is a big lesson for all those folks who are going to be watching us and looking at the amazing stuff that you're doing. Uh, Hot Wheels, Lego,
Hmm.
fixing your own cars, and now you build your own Porsche that you've been working on as a passion project, and look at it, man. It's phenomenal. It looks
Thank you,
really,
thank
really good. If I had the space, I tell you, hey, I want one on my wall. That would be
you. Hmm.
fantastic. Because these old cars, they just flow. The whole body shell and everything. It's just so smooth and so voluptuous, and it's full of curves, unlike the
Yeah,
modern
yeah,
cars that are just like so, you know I don't know what they're trying to
yeah,
do
yeah,
with that, but I think the cars from this particular period are absolutely fantastic in terms of design, and
yeah,
they're eternal. And even today, if you just park it outside, and I mean, that's going to be like a major draw for anyone. So, hey, what is this? I want one. I'm telling you, that is
yeah,
what you need to do. Take it,
yeah,
park it outside, maybe raincoat it. I think
yeah,
it's raining in Goa right now, so yeah,
yeah, yeah. It is.
once that is done, and I'll put it outside and say, who wants one? Don't even say
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sale or anything, just like, who wants one? Contact the Rusty
yeah,
man inside, and then they'll come in and everybody knows. So you're pretty
yeah,
popular on Instagram as well. You keep putting pictures up, and I started following you
yeah,
from there. And that is how I came to know that you are doing these insane things that you are. This is absolutely phenomenal. What else have
yeah.
you got hiding under your up your sleeve? What else is it that you do? So you live in Goa, you have this huge place, you have a huge garage, it's filled with old cars. You're building
Yeah.
your own car. What else, man? You build your own light switches. You're an electrician. You're a mechanical engineer, and you told me you were into robotics. So where's that?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have like a one of those big robots hiding somewhere as well?
Not really. Back then in college, we used to have these, they might have been, let's say, a foot tall or maybe even less.
Okay.
And you basically attach four motors to them. And they used to have them where they would just push each other. It was very
Okay.
boring to watch. It wasn't like what you would have on Discovery Channel. You would have
Okay.
that TV show, right? Robo Wars or something like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
And it
Yep.
was
Yep.
crazy. That was nuts. So what happened in college? We suddenly got access to some motors which are called Magnum motors, and
Okay.
they were super powerful. One of our seniors just gifted them to us. They were
Oh,
worth probably about 20, 30K. And
nice.
back then it was a lot of money. And we thought, okay, we can't afford to do something like that, but somebody gives you that, you're like, okay, let's go for it. And we build a robot. We put on a car starter motor, and what we would do is, back then there was basically a set of wires. You have a switchboard, and you have a car battery or two, three car batteries, and you would have to provide it with 12 to 24 volts. And through this set of wires, your robot would be powered. And we had a starter motor on it with a little blade, which was probably about 6 inches.
Okay.
We got that cut, and that was the first time we actually made a really nice robot. We tried that out, and it was mad. We won a few competitions, and it was crazy. But back then we
Sweet.
could Yeah, it was like four kids would put in a a few thousand rupees, and we would go to a scrapyard, pick up parts, and build it. But as we finished off with our whole course and finished off with the competitions, we realized that people were getting sponsored and they were spending crazy money. Like, let's say
Uh-huh.
2 lakhs going into a little robot. That was
Wow.
mad for us. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So
No,
yeah, it became more of, it's not about the about you using your skills and your your problem sorting abilities. It became more about how much you could spend. So then it wasn't as fun. Yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah, but yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, if you have the money and if you have all the right resources and if you have
yeah,
all the facilities at your disposal, I mean, I'm sure, it's really easy to put together a good team and a bunch of people and just go buy everything off the shelf and just put it there.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but the way that you're doing it, building your own switches, building your own stuff here and there and all, it's just unheard of. I don't think that there's very few people that have come across who would be doing something like this and who have the time and the luxury and the space to be able to do
But
something like this.
one thing I've noticed is during this lockdown, a lot of people during the early days, they started to trying to do things on their own. They got really bored. If you noticed, a lot of nice customs were coming out in the group, and I was really surprised.
Hmm.
They had decals, they had paint jobs, they had wheel swaps, everything, and it was really nice to see. And I think that's where it starts. You're a little bored. Instead of just sitting and watching TV all day, why don't you just go and try something out, right? And that's what happened. There was a lot of amazing stuff being built. I saw somebody's wife gifted them a diorama, right? That looked amazing.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I think you've seen that, right? It was
Yep,
like a
yep.
little a road with some grass on it, and I was really surprised to see that.
I think
So
that's
yeah,
that's something that you want to do next. I think, when you get the time apart from doing that is to build your own dioramas and the man
yeah,
cave
yeah,
that you're building for yourself with everything. And I'm sure that you would want to populate that with your own custom built dioramas. Ever thought of
yeah, yeah.
yeah, taking one of the cars from the garages and moving it into your man cave over here?
So I've got this. My doorway isn't large enough for that, but I love to. But the problem is, yeah, the doorway is small. I thought I'd move in a scooter. So I've got a friend of mine. Basically, the friend who got me into Hot Wheels in
Okay,
India again.
okay.
He's a friend I met through scooters. So I've
Oh,
got this old 1967 Lambretta,
I
and
see.
um, and one of the friends in the group. I think he prefers not to be named, but he showed me the group, and he got me into the whole local Hot Wheels culture, and it was really nice. So I then got into the premiums. There was some advice that came from him earlier. He's like, once you get into premiums, you won't want the main lines, right? And once you go a little higher, you won't want the premiums. I don't think that part will come in. I think I'll stick to the premiums. I'm happy with those. With what do you call, with the real riders and stuff. Those are really nice. But I've
Mm-hmm.
noticed I know I'm changing topics really quickly, but as you go further into it, the real riders are really nice. And I started to pick up less of the main lines after I started picking those up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
So there's a bunch of people also who only buy the premium so that they can extract the wheels from those and put them onto the main lines and then custom paint them and stuff like that because the premiums is something that everybody has and there's another guy in the
yeah,
group
yeah.
called Monish Mathur who just does that because after
Mm,
some time you realize that what happens is that the premiums that are costing I think about 499 or something like that they're
hmm.
not you can still find them for a fair amount of discount on maybe some sites like First Try and a couple of other places. So you're
Hmm.
able to pick those up for about 230 or something like that, 230 rupees. I think they cost 499 or 399 or something like that. I don't know.
399, but they
399.
should be becoming 499, right? That's the problem.
Well, yeah, that's what I've heard also because of the taxes and the customs duties and the new stuff that's going up with respect to the toy market and the new budgets that have come
Hmm.
in and things like that. So the prices are going to go up. My bad. So yeah, it is 399 right now, which is there. But yeah, you are able to get them for about as less as 230 rupees. So
Yeah,
for
yeah,
getting a set of four wheels for 230 rupees, and to take a main line and cut that apart, plug those wheels in, and give it a totally custom look. And that's right up your alley, man. I mean, you should be
yeah,
looking
yeah.
at something like that.
That's what
Because,
I do sometimes, because it
uh-huh,
does make sense. You get the exact wheel you want, and
right,
I find the Hot Wheels made wheels are much nicer than the ones that you get. They're very Japanese, right? The ones that we pick up, and I've seen a lot of crazy stuff being sold. Like those cross spoke wheels, a lot of widened wheels, but that hasn't come in yet. I've noticed
right,
that you only have the ones with those balloon-like tires that are not Hot Wheels.
right.
That is available, but nobody has brought in those super wide ones. But they're really expensive. They're about $600 a set, right?
Yeah. So have you ever
Yeah.
thought of, since you already have a 3D printer and stuff like that, have you ever
Mm.
thought of maybe printing your own custom wheels?
I have, so I've got a friend who's into raisin casting.
Okay.
I picked up one of those, those little diorama figures. They're about this big, and
Hmm.
you've got a race man, you've got this guy checking under the car, something like that.
Right.
It's a whole pit crew. So I picked
Right.
up one of those, and I told this friend of mine, okay, just make a copy. But since the lockdown, he's not been able to do it. So let's see. Maybe we can start with that, with the figurines, and then maybe the wheels. The problem is that the wheels are tiny, and
Hmm.
the amount of detail that's there is a little difficult with something this big. So you have new technologies like something called a Raisin Printer,
Right.
where you have different layers, and it's basically a pool of resin, and using light it gets solidified at different layers.
Oh,
Over
excellent.
here, yeah, there is a guy in Bombay. I think he's making a jonga. He's making a jonga scale model,
Okay.
and he's into that. So I'm pretty sure he's using that technology. He's using resin printing. So that's the next in thing. That's a little bit better than this in some ways, but this would be superior for something larger, where your detail isn't that big. I mean that fine. Yeah. So I will
Phenomenal,
try.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
No, no, you
I'll
must,
send.
you must. That your 3D printing stuff and the details that you're able to get out with that, the
Mm,
Hot Wheels cases that you're making, which
mm,
reminds me, we still have to work on our uh, Hot Wheels display case, the most insane one that we've been talking about for the longest time and
yeah.
all, and that is something that is actually a passion project, and I do need your help to get that done.
Mm,
To make it automated and to make it rotate and to make it go up
mm,
and down and to do something like that. I think that's going to be a world's first. If I don't think anybody has done anything like that, and
mm,
so yeah, we've been talking about it for a long time, and I know that you're busy with your real cars and your Lego and your Hot Wheels and your customizing and now your switches and now your man cave and things like that. But yeah, do
yeah.
spare a little time for poor souls like us who are not as fortunate and who don't have the abilities to be able to do things like this. All we've got is wishes and dreams, and all we
Mm,
can hope for is, folks like you and especially you to be able to make us realize our dreams, because
mm,
it is a kind of a crazy project. But I'm sure crazy is right up your alley. You
yeah,
are the
yeah.
Rusty Cashew. You are the secluded hermit who's got his own Shangri-La, staying where you
Mm,
are, doing what you want, no care in the world except for, it's like those old Asterix comics. The only fear that the gods had was that the sky may fall on their heads. But right now, all of us have just
yeah,
that
yeah,
one fear: is that the corona may strike us.
yeah, yeah. That's
So
there.
there's actually a very popular saying that's going around and all: don't stay
Mm.
positive, stay negative, because that is what is going to save you. Anyway, on that
Yeah,
note, I would like to thank you for taking out this time from your
no problem,
precious
no problem.
hobbies and all the stuff that you've got to do and things like that, and joining us on Let's Talk with
Thank you
me,
for hosting
Vineet.
me. It was great.
No,
Yeah.
this has been due for quite some time and all, and now that it's
Mm,
out there, and a lot of people have seen what you're capable of and what you can do, and it's not only
mhm.
the small cars that you play with, but it's also the big ones, and especially that
Yeah.
Porsche, dude. Yeah, let this Corona end. I'm coming to see you, and hopefully by
Drop by,
then we
drop
should.
by.
Yeah, yeah, we need to take that baby out for a little spin, man. And who
Mm.
knows if I like it enough, maybe I just might stay there. Anyway,
Cool.
it's been fabulous. In closing, would you like to say anything to our viewers watching out there? Maybe your words of wisdom from the rustic hermit, the rusty cashew.
Get your hands dirty. That's pretty much it.
That's it. That's it. Get your hands dirty. Do it yourself. Don't wait for somebody
Yeah.
else to do it for you.
Mm.
Watch the Rusty Cashew for more inspiration. Go follow him on Instagram. See the kind of crazy stuff that he's been able to do. And if you need any help, as you can see, he's a sweet guy, and he still maintained his innocent persona of what he was when he was a kid, like just like that first picture that we showed you. And yeah,
Mm.
he's very helpful. I know he's going to be of
Mm.
great help to you. So anyone wants to hook up with him, find out anything about their old cars or how they can get into this particular hobby, how they can, maybe just pick up an old Morris or something like that. I think, yeah,
Yeah.
and tinker with it in their garages in all this time that they have. Contact the Rusty Cashew. He's your man. He's going to help you out. So thanks, Deep.
Yeah.
On that note, for
No
all those
problem.
who don't, yeah, so yeah, since I know you, I'm going to call you Deep. For those who don't know you, it's the Rusty Cashew. Thanks so much for joining us again on
No
Let's
problem.
Talk. And well, guys, till we meet again next time. This has been an honor to host Rusty with us over here. So we'll see you again next week with another special guest and more stuff that you can do while sitting at home in this lockdown. Till then, cheers.